You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Emerson Whitner, and this is your NXT audio update for Wednesday, July 22nd, 2015. Last night's NXT was the first show taped in the new cycle as they start the road to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, which is the night before SummerSlam on August 22nd. We started the show this week with our first live appearance by the new NXT champion. Finn Balor came out. It should be noted that every new NXT champion, except for Sami Zayn, came out to kick off the first show after winning the belt. While yes, this is about 2 weeks after Finn's won the belt, this is actually the first show that's been taped since he won the belt. Sami, of course, didn't come out when he won the belt because they were doing the injury angle with Owens giving him the powerbomb to the ring apron. So either way, the crowd went nuts chanting, "You deserve it." Greg Hamilton conducted the in-ring interview where Finn said that he's been competing all over the world for over 15 years, and all the difficult decisions, all the sacrifices he's made were made worth it when he beat Kevin Owens and won the NXT title. The fans booed Brooklyn all night, and this was no exception, as Greg mentioned, at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn and the title match. Finn said that Kevin Owens hurt Sami Zayn, sent Adrian Neville out of NXT, he hurt Hideo Itami, he hurt Rusev, and he pinned John Cena, but he did not beat Finn Balor. And he plans on making history in Brooklyn by walking in champion and leaving the same way. Devin Taylor interviewed Eva Marie backstage about her re-debut. Eva thanked Mr. Regal for giving her the opportunity, saying this is her dream and she's been training the last few months just to get the chance right here tonight. Leading us to Eva Marie's re-debut with her match against Cassie. I think Eva Marie has had like 5 matches in her life, and 3 of them have finished in the top 5 in the Wrestling Observer Awards for Worst Worked Match of the Year. So at this point, there's no way that she can't get better from here. And she kept it simple for the most part. She did look better than she has. Mind you, she's still worse than every other diva on the roster, including Dana Brooke, but at least she did nothing embarrassing. Cassie almost won with several spin kicks to Eva's face, and Eva did win with the Kendrick. The one thing Eva really needs to work on as well is her expressions. She had the same blank look on her face the entire match. Mind you, there's about 58 things she needs to work on, but that was one that really stood out, was that her expression never changed at all. William Regal walked into his office and found Tyler Breeze laying across his desk. Tyler demanded a match at TakeOver, and Mr. Regal said he's working on it. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I could swear it was announced on WWE.com or somewhere else. At least that WWE officially announced the match, but I'm not going to I'm not going to say what it is in case I didn't actually read it on something WWE wise. Baron Corbin pinned a local competitor. The match went 10 seconds. His opponent didn't even get a name, but his opponent was wearing he was wearing a purple bodysuit with blue streaks in his hair. So you need to go out of your way and watch this 10-second match just to see this man's outfit. Samoa Joe is back, pinning Mike Rawless. This was every Samoa Joe squash match so far. It's just an exhibition of Samoa Joe's offense. Mike Rawless got just enough offense so Joe could counter it and hit all of his moves. He did not do the choke. He only won with the Muscle Buster this week. And it was announced that in 2 weeks, Samoa Joe will go one-on-one with Rhino. Sorry, I was watching ECW earlier, and I've got Cyrus screaming Rhino stuck in my head. Backstage, Emma laughed at the idea that Bayley's going to hurt her. She mentioned that she broke Bayley's hand, and now she's going to break her childish spirit. Emma and Dana Brooke hugged sarcastically, and the segment ended with Dana patting Devin Taylor on top of her head. Bayley then pinned Emma in their ensuing match. About a month ago, like I said, Bayley broke her hand in a match against Emma. The funny thing is, Bayley's on TV so infrequently that if they just never mentioned that she broke her hand, 99% of the audience wouldn't have ever noticed. Emma got the early advantage by attacking Bayley from behind when Bayley went to throw a slap bracelet into the corner of the ring. Emma's entire offense centered around Bayley's injured hand. The announcers never once mentioned that if Bayley's hand is injured, she won't be able to use a proper grip for her finish, the belly to Bayley suplex. Not that it ended up mattering, because Bayley eventually won with that move. Bayley ignored her hand pain when she made her comeback using a series of Polish hammers. Dana Brooke at one point yanked on her arm right in front of the referee. For some reason, the referee did not disqualify Dana and instead sent her to the back, and that's when Bayley hit her move and won the bout. Bayley cut a post-match promo saying she wants to be women's champion, and to prove that she's ready for a title match, she wants a match against Charlotte. Fast forward to the backstage area, where some new girl interviewed Charlotte. They go through backstage interviewers on this show. I don't know where they find them all at. There must be like a depot, or maybe there's a Walmart just for backstage interviewers. Anyway, a random brunette girl was backstage interviewing Charlotte. She enunciates worse than Eden. And if you've heard me complain about Eden's enunciating every syllable of every word, this girl's worse. Anyway, Charlotte nearly cried about how she's had the chance to be on Raw now and did accept Bayley's challenge. Dana walked in and said that Charlotte's gotten chance after chance, but always messes it up. Dana said she's never gotten a chance because she doesn't have a famous last name, but is going to make a statement by beating Charlotte. So Charlotte agreed to wrestle Dana and then wrestle Bayley afterwards. They didn't actually say it, but I assume Charlotte and Dana is going to wrestle next week, and then Charlotte will wrestle Bayley the following week. The Vaudevillains took on Angelo Dawkins and Sawyer Fulton. I don't know why they don't push Dawkins and Fulton. They always look really good, but they're always there just to get squashed. The Vaudevillains were here just to show us all that they are the number one contenders and are a minus of this. They're getting a title match next week against Blake and Murphy. At one point, Angelo Dawkins went to give Simon Gotch a side suplex, but Gotch lifted up his own foot and kept kicking Angelo Dawkins in the head, which was quite the sight. Blake and Murphy backstage were mockingly clapping for their foes. Blake bleached his hair blonde, so now they look completely different, whereas before they could have been twins and you never know. The only problem is he left his beard the same natural color, so he either needs to shave his beard or bleach that. Then we got the main event contract signing. Mr. Regal oversaw the signing between NXT champion Finn Balor and the number one contender Kevin Owens. When Mr. Regal mentioned the match was going to be in Brooklyn, 398 of the 400 people booed, while two people who probably live in New York stood and applauded. Owens tried to intimidate Balor by pointing out that he's in the position of defending the title in the biggest match in NXT history. He healed on the crowd by mockingly pointing out the match was going to be in Brooklyn. Kevin then ran down all of his accomplishments that he did in just his first 6 months in WWE, including pinning John Cena on pay-per-view. In Brooklyn, he's going to show all the idiots that Japan was a fluke, and he's going to become the first ever two-time NXT champion and take Finn Balor out for good. Finn had a very basic reply saying he's going to take Kevin's words and shove them down his throat. They both signed. Mr. Regal signed, indicating that he witnessed this, and the match is official. Now, I know you'll be shocked to hear this, but after they signed the contract, it broke down into a big giant fight. Owens attacked Balor. Mr. Regal went after Kevin, so Kevin punched Regal in the face, and Balor, shockingly, cleared the ring. Kevin Owens was sent packing not once, but twice by the NXT champion and was not left laying in a broken heap in the ring. So what happens next week? What will Mr. Regal say about being punched? How much more can the crowd boo Brooklyn? Will we have new tag team champions? I have no idea. But hey, if we're done for this week, but if you're not tired of listening to the sound of my voice, you can listen to my Wrestling Outsiders podcast, which just last night we reviewed ECW Hardcore Heaven 2000. I ranted about Tough Enough some more. It was great. It was awesome. You should all go listen to it. blogtalkradio.com/Wrestling Outsiders. But that's it for me this week. Until next week, adios.
You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.